Hello. Hi. So my name is Mrs. Spasm. You're gonna see Stacy T probably on there. Um, I don't know what this is gonna look like. What you're gonna get is a master level education, but with a very spastic person. Spasm are the initials of my husband and three kids, as well as myself. And so what my dealio is that I have a terminal illness and I have zero posh, zero class. But I have passion, and I have passion for this information that I've been teaching on and off for 25 years, and have received feedback from whether I've done training with licensed therapists or I've done clients on my own. Um, but I've gotten some of the feedback I've gotten has been um, very awesome for me because it means that people are learning some basic life things that's going to seem like it's all about organizing, and it kind of is. But I cater to the neurodivergent. I'm one high, and the good thing about doing this on YouTube is that each lesson you can take and digest at your own pace. So if you need to pause, if you need to stop for the night, if you need to whatever, it's all in your hands. And so you can ingest it and learn it how you deem fit. So what I'm doing here is I'm just giving you some information to try some things that might be helpful as you continue to navigate through this crazy world. And as of today, I'm recording on July 1st. I think the United States is still a free country, so um, we shall see. How we go and where we go with this, and hopefully you can take something from it. So, the Essentials Life Skills Workshop begins now. I do need you to grab something to draw on. It doesn't have to be a big piece of paper, it can be just a little piece of paper or a sticky note. But you're going to need a pencil or a pen and something to draw um, on paper, whatever. Because this is how I'm going to get your attention. So I'm going to show you a slide, and you're going to have 3 seconds to look at it, and then you're going to draw what you saw. So are you ready? Here we go. Okay. All right. Draw what you saw. I have had one student that out of all the lines there got all but one, and it was really kind of cool. So excuse my voice. Okay. Second, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you a slide. You've got 3 seconds to look at it, and then I want you to draw what you saw. Okay. How's that? So, are you ready to get started? What do all of those scrambled lines and these four squares have in common? They both have 16. There's 16 lines in the scrambly ones, and there's 16 lines in the four squares. The difference in the four squares, the reason you were able to see it and recognize it, you process that faster because it's organized. And this is something that you learned in kindergarten, right? You learned squares in kindergarten or preschool or whatever. But when something is organized, then you are able to process that faster. And when you have room in your head to process faster, and you don't have to worry about all the other different things floating around in there at the time, then you get more done, but you also feel better about yourself because your brain is processing faster. Um, this is just a funny little thing I want you to think about for a minute. Fill in the sentence. Organized people are what? and I'm going to give you the answer. Organized people are just too lazy to look for things. And yes, I have this t-shirt. I'm not kidding. I hate looking for stuff. My stuff is organized. I know where is what is what. And when I go to find it and it's not there, I can get pretty frustrated. And sometimes, depending on the day, I can even, like, my brain just kind of shuts down because it's like, I don't want to spend time finding this. I had something that I had to do. I wanted to just grab it and go. And so, what we're going to be talking about in this class are foundational principles that all are based around organizing, and we're going to be organizing your space. You can choose to look at the class that's going to organize money, time management, and organizing our brains and understanding human behavior and why some people do what we do or why we do what we do. So my approach is a taco bar. You come over to my house, I have a pretty great island. It's like L-shaped, it's great, it's huge. And so I have all of this stuff laid out for you to make a taco. I will say that if you come to my house, the tacos will be way better, the tortillas will be way bigger. But everything's on there, right? And so you come over and you start making your taco because you know what you like. You know what you want on your taco. Sometimes I'm gonna say, hey, have you tried the guacamole? And you're like, no. And you try it and then boom, game changer. And then sometimes it'll be like, hey, there's cilantro's right there. And you're like, no, I'm good. That tastes like soap, right? Right? You soap people, I get that. I mean, I don't get it personally. I like cilantro, but my husband does, so I get it. So this is my approach to this entire workshop is I'm laying everything out to give you a chance to figure out what is going to work for you, because my goal for all of my students and anybody that I talk to is to help them get organized in spaces and places that they aren't, so that that takes less energy. We all have amount of energy. Some of us that are neurodivergent have less energy. Sometimes we call these spoons. Sometimes we call these, bars on the phone. Whatever energy or whatever analogy that resonates with you, we all have energy. And for those of us that are like me, I don't want to spend time looking for stuff. And I just want things organized, and I want them so that when I go to tackle a project, it's there, it's done. I am going to just scroll through these foundational principles. When I talk about these foundational principles, it is how to organize, prioritize, customize, and utilize. And we're going to talk about that a lot. You don't have to memorize anything right there. When you've seen somebody pour concrete, I don't think people have as much opportunity today as they did when I was growing up as a kid, because we'd always find some wet concrete and you put your hands in it, or you write, Joey loves Chachi, Joni loves Chachi, or Jody, or, Joe loves Chachi, whatever. And you could write in the concrete. And one of the things that keeps concrete as far as walls, because I didn't do my homework to know if it was also the concrete floor, but I know for walls, they have that grid that's in there to reinforce the concrete. So, for the sake of this workshop, I talk about these rods as retention rods because, right, you put them all together like that and you're going to retain the concrete to make a wall. So I'm just now going to click through these, and you can go through them at your own pace and leisure. And then we'll see how far we get, but I'm not going to say a whole lot. You don't have to memorize these. I'm just giving them to you up top. There are 12, which sounds overwhelming, but I promise it's not. It's all broken down. Understanding human behavior, expectations. I'm going to do fact finding and planning. I'm going to talk about efficiency versus effectiveness, putting like things with like things, The big, medium, small, and tiny, which a lot of you have probably seen before. Number 7 is a doable chewable. Now, I do not believe in eating elephants. I would never eat an elephant. However, this is just the hypothetical. You can't eat an elephant on all at once. You have to break it up in bits, which sounds really gross. But we do the same thing for when we're faced with a project, when we're faced with an issue, and it's so big. We can do better when we can break that down into small, chewable sizes. PBJ, that'll be for another day, and you're going to love it. Organization doesn't mean that it's not going to get messy once in a while, and we're going to talk about what true organization is. Everything that I'm going to be talking to you about is a process. It is not a project. I could come, I did do professional organizing. I could come to your home and I could completely revamp your kitchen and it looks fantastic, except for 4 months later, you're like, this is not working for me. And I come back to see how you're doing and nothing looks like the way that I did it because I'm doing it for me. The difference with what I'm doing here is I'm teaching you about a process. Some of this stuff, including organizing, is a process. It's not just a one-day project. I did sit in once on a lady who was on Hoarders as a professional organizer, and she said what you don't see that is that there are about 50 people that come in to clean that place, somebody's home. And then there are about 40 organizers that she is dictating to. And so you think that it's that 30-minute television show and then they get that all done and then it's just that easy peasy. And that's not at all what it is. It is a process and is not a one-day project. And so hopefully that gives you hope, but also less stress to know that this is something that we're just going to be talking about creating the habit for it. It's not something that you're expected to learn and get down in one lesson. So, number 12, my favorite number because it was my basketball jersey, all in high school, and it's all about you. This is what's going to work for you. Remember, what works for me and how I organize my kitchen would be completely different than how you organized yours. So that is the introductory to the Essentials Life Skills Workshop. I hope that you enjoy this series and you will see me in the same clothes and makeup today because I was supposed to have a Zoom interview and it got pushed back and I put on makeup. And so I'm just gonna run with this whole thing today as far as the makeup is concerned. Okay, so welcome to the workshop. I hope this is something that you can benefit from, even if you just do it in snippets or you just wanted to do the budgeting or you just wanted to do whatever. Please make sure that you've watched this video first because it is going to be important in whatever section that we're going to be organizing. So I will see you next time. Have a great day. Thank you so much.